After the U.S. pressured France to arrest the CEO of Telegram, it turns out that they did so by tricking him into thinking he was having a meeting with the president. We're uncovering this crazy story and so much more here on Beyond the Headlines, only on Vigilant News. This segment is sponsored by My Patriots Supply, providing emergency meal kits to Americans at preparewithvnn.com. I'm Elijah Schaefer. Let's start the show. Well, in the United States, they claim that you have free speech, but it just came out that Mark Zuckerberg claims that, well, Kamala Harris and Biden did request that he censor people during the scamdemic in 2020 and 2021, but it gets worse. Now they're pressuring foreign governments to arrest tech CEOs who won't comply with FBI demands. Listen to this. Vigilant News reports that a French newspaper claims that Macron tricked Durov with a dinner invite to facilitate his arrest. The Telegram CEO allegedly told Paris police meeting with French president was a reason for visiting France. Here's what he has to say. French newspaper Enchaine, I'm sure I ruined that one, published a report claiming that Telegram CEO Pavel Durov was invited for a dinner by President Emmanuel Macron in order to trick him into being arrested. Durov was arrested on Saturday at La Bourget airport near Paris and faces up to 20 years in prison for his alleged complicity in the sale of child sexual abuse materials, drug trafficking, fraud, and involvement in organized crime. Durov is essentially being charged with these crimes because criminals use his platform to facilitate them, which would set a ludicrous legal precedent, making social media owners personally responsible for literally everything everyone posts on their platforms. Definitely a tough case to win. But Macron gave a speech on Monday insisting that the arrest was not politically motivated and laughably that France supports freedom of speech. Check this out. Pavel Durov said that he was lured to France by President Macron. It turns out that the French president invited Durov to dine together. Pavel told about his during his interrogation by the police, the French newspaper claimed. But instead of lunch, of course, he was arrested. Now, according to French investigative newspaper Canard, Durov told Paris police that he was scheduled to meet Macron for a dinner on the day of his arrest. This is a bait and switch. This is terrible, man. This is horrible. And remember, this was at the pressuring of the United States government. So this has prompted allegations that the French government tricked him into flying into France merely as a pretext to arrest him. Florian Philippot, leader of the Les Patriots party, suggests that the dinner invite was a deliberate act of deception, which would mean that it's enticement. You're enticing someone, right? It's entrapment. So you go on to say that Macron is perfectly capable of this kind of trickery in order to fulfill the mission demanded by his masters, to put in jail all those who defend freedom of expression. Reminding you that if you're watching this on Rumble doesn't even operate in France, from my understanding, because they demanded censorship. So they don't care about freedom of speech. Now, the Elysée and Macron's office had denied the claims. Back in 2018, Macron also reportedly invited Durov to relocate Telegram's headquarters from Dubai to Paris, although Durov said that he was not interested in doing so. Durov could be subject to house arrest and be slapped with a travel ban if he is charged. Now, this sort of push to control social media goes way beyond France and the United States. It's a global hegemony. They're working in collusion together to ensure what? That people can't communicate. Now, Telegram is significantly being censored, primarily because it's used to organize, things like the Arab Spring and bring real information from the ground in Gaza and in Ukraine, proving that Russia's actually winning and that Israel is committing crimes against humanity. Whether you support them or not, I mean, what they're doing is they're just killing children and women. And again, if you think that's cool, then that's your personal political opinions. But I know Israel and the United States don't like the information, which is why Israel intentionally targeted over 100 journalists and murdered them. There's sort of this push and this desire to control that information. So a lot of this has to do with the military-industrial complex, in my personal experience with this. Now, many of you also know something very important. You realize that the world kind of is in a position where things might go bad quickly, which is why Americans are preparing for the unthinkable with emergency meal kits from My Patriots Supply. Their mega 3-month emergency food kit comes jam-packed with 33 varieties of food. Just to check it out, it also comes with a protein kit with diced beef, flavorful chicken chunks, and 3 varieties of beans. I love their creamy chicken-flavored rice, old-fashioned Italian spaghetti, and savory cheesy broccoli soup. This stuff is the bee's knees, and I don't even think bees have knees, but this stuff is legit. You also get 9 different fruits, vegetables, and snacks. All in all, the emergency food kit provides a whopping 2,500 calories per day to keep you well fed and ready for anything. The way I see it, it's my duty as an American to protect my family. And check this out, It lasts for 25 years. I'm not even joking. The food is amazing. Go to preparewithvnn.com today. PREPAREWITH, VNN.com. That's preparewithvnn and save $300 on your mega 3-month emergency food kit. And it ships fast and free at preparewithvnn.com. Now, as I mentioned, Durov was on, he was actually on Tucker Carlson the other day, maybe a couple months ago. And he explained that the FBI has been trying to lure him with compliance for a long time. Maybe this is why he got arrested. Watch.
We get too much attention from the FBI, the security agencies, wherever we came to the US. So to give you an example, last time I was in the US, I brought an engineer that is working for Telegram, and there was an attempt to secretly hire my engineer behind my back by cybersecurity officers or agents, whatever they are called.
The U.S. government should hire your engineer?
That's my understanding. That's what he told me.
To write code for them or to break into Telegram?
They were curious to learn which open source libraries are integrated to the Telegram's app, on the client side, and they were trying to persuade him to use certain open source tools that he would then integrate into the Telegram's code that, in my understanding, would serve as backdoors.
Would allow the U.S. government to spy on people who use Telegram.
The U.S. government, or maybe any other government, because a backdoor is a backdoor regardless of who is using it.
That's right.
And
that's a little surprising to hear. Maybe it's not surprising. It's offensive. You're confident that happened?
Yes. There is no reason for my engineer to make up the stories. Also because I personally experienced similar pressure in the US. Whenever I would go to the US, I would have 2 FBI agents greeting me at the airport, asking questions. One time I was having my breakfast like 9 a.m. and the FBI showed up at my house that I was renting. And that was quite surprising. And I thought, we're getting too much attention here. It's probably not the best environment to run.
Why would had you committed a crime?
No, they were interested to learn more about Telegram. They knew I, left Russia. They knew what we were doing, but they wanted details. And my understanding is that they wanted to establish a relationship to, in a way, control Telegram better. I understand that they were doing their job. It's just that for us running a privacy-focused social media platform, that probably wasn't the best environment to be. And we want to be focused on what we do, not on government relations of that sort.
Yeah. And that's why they want to control it, right? So there's this idea that what they can't control, they'll destroy. And again, if he's getting arrested for what's on his platform, then Mark Zuckerberg is going to go to jail for child pornography too. Anyway, my name is Elijah Schaefer. Thank you so much again for watching Beyond the Headlines. If you like this video, make sure that you help us fight against the mainstream media by signing up for our newsletter at vigilantnews.com, or you can subscribe to our Rumble and our X accounts at Vigilant News. Have a great rest of the week as always, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.